And I'm joined tonight by Republican Senator Mike Rounds of South Dakota, who has been working to get a bipartisan immigration deal done for years. So, Senator, thank you for being here. If this deal doesn't happen, who will you hold responsible?
In this particular case, I think we're going to do our best to get it done. We'll try to assign any blame or success later on. To begin with, right now, we don't have text yet, so there's a lot of unknowns that people are concerned with. We do know that we've got a couple of pieces that, when they all get put together, could be a good deal for our country. That's what we're focusing on. We would take care of some of the needs for defensive capabilities in Ukraine. Also, the issues with Israel, some additional protections that we need in the Indo-Pacific region, and the part that most of us as Republicans have really focused on, which is doing our best to do everything we can to secure the southern border. When we go home, it's the one thing that we always hear about is why can't you guys do something to fix the problem at the southern border? And I think this might be one of those opportunities.
Yeah, we've seen how high it ranks when you talk to voters, especially Republican voters, about their biggest concerns. But Senator, I guess my question on that, though, is how does this move forward? Because the former president is urging your colleagues to kill this, not because he doesn't necessarily think it's not good legislation. We've heard Republicans say that it is, but because he, we are told, wants to use the border as a campaign issue against President Biden. I mean, is that okay with you?
Well, first of all, he's going to be able to use the border as a campaign issue regardless, because, be very honest, most of us think that the Biden administration has done a terrible job at the border. It's really unsecured, and I think even his own administration is admitting that right now, that they can't run from that.
We're hearing from the Republicans who are working on this that it is one of the best opportunities, they say. These are conservative Republican senators at a deal in decades. But I mean, just moments ago, Trump posted on Truth Social essentially arguing that you shouldn't take the deal, and that even if it pushes the country to closing up for a while, that it's worth not taking this deal. I mean, he's saying it needs to be perfect. How do you respond to that?
Well, the former president has always prided himself in being a negotiator. Sounds to me like the opening lines of negotiations. Look, I think he wants the same things that, well, I think you always start at that. And a number of us have said for quite a while that unless this deal does exactly what we believe we need to do, we're not going to take it. But we also know that the border is open. It's not good public policy to leave it open. And we want to do what's right for the country. And look, negotiating it, sometimes you take a real hard line when you start out. We get that.
So you're not worried that Trump is going to sink this bill?
Well, naturally, it would feel better to all of us if everybody on the outside would simply say, look, we all recognize the need to fix it in order to move forward to get the border secure. But look, there's different ways of getting that done. Sometimes people think that in making the art of the deal, you start out with a real hard line, and then you can always negotiate back. For us, we're past that point in the Senate. We are trying to get to the bottom line that we can. And then remember, we've still got to get it to the House. And what the House is going to look at is this actually something that is worthwhile, not just to push this administration into securing the border, but are these good tools for the next administration as well?
If this bill doesn't get passed, if it does fail, as Trump is urging people to do, what does that mean for Ukraine? Does that hand Putin a win in your view?
Well, it depends. Look, we've got to do Ukraine, but we also know that we've got to do the southern border because that's the demand of the folks back home. I think most of us are going to stick with what the folks back home want to see done, and that is fix our own border as we're starting to talk about providing additional foreign aid. A lot of Americans understand the need to stop Putin. They understand that Ukraine is at a critical spot and that we've got to be able to provide them additional resources. Otherwise, Putin wins. If Putin wins, it means then that the rest of the world is at risk, and we end up at some point in a real bloody contest with this bully. We'd be better off to stop him in his tracks, but we've still got to respect the demands of our own citizens back home to fix this border and to secure this border. And look, here's the other piece of this that I think sometimes we don't talk about. We know that Democrats have a reason to work with us right now, and they're going to give a lot more now than they ever will if the administrations change, which we all hope they will change. If that happens, there is no reason in the world why any Democrat would ever support any law changes that would assist a Republican administration. There's simply nothing in it that they would have that they want from us. And so this
Yeah.
is one of those opportunities in divided government where we get everything we can to protect that southern border. So we've got to keep trying.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be a message that is breaking through with the former president. We'll see if that changes. Senator Mike Rounds, thank you for your time.
Thank you.